Good evening. Welcome to Late Night Rando on this great Wednesday evening. We have quite the losers bracket final match of the round of 128 into the round of 32. The winner of this match is going to be able to secure his bracket spot moving forward to the main event in SpeedGaming Live for a Link to the Past Randomizer tournament. Unfortunately, this being a losers bracket match, someone is going to have to say their goodbyes, at least for this year. One person, Buane, is hoping for some impacto, hopefully sometime either in the beginning or the middle or in the end. PlasmaKappa, traditionally, please send him all the help that he can get in this case. We have an incredibly stacked and talented losers bracket match. It's going to be one heck of a race. I am Claire Mouse, joined today. I have the awesome Chex Human. Chex, how are you doing? Are you excited for this race?
Doing well. Pretty excited. So glad to be on comms with you.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Live.
Yeah. I think the last time that we were here, it seems like not so long ago when Buane actually was also here as part of the NMG Grand Finals. So he might know a thing or two about this game, yeah? Especially if we're going to give him a sword and boots right off the bat, along with PlasmaKappa, and they're going to be able to go through Escape. Something pretty standard, I think, for most Link to the Past games.
So, we've already seen a map check from PlasmaKappa, and it looked like we have a green pendant at Tower of Hera.
That's impressive. I don't even know if I saw that map check. I think I just got used to seeing players delay their map check until typically after Escape, and I think that'll be probably at least consistent with Buane. It seems like there is an informal competition among, in this case, say Buane, Airy, Jem, Delang, some of the other top 32 qualifiers already, to try and basically save as much time as you possibly or feasibly can in the escape sequence, so you can really try and get that 5-minute escape, basically. And of course, doing a map check, right? It's just extra time. That's going to cost you.
Buane's spin speed out of the Uncle Sacred Passage was pretty huge.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going for it. He, of course, checks like seeing, Buane and PlasmaKappa like on camera, right? Kind of simulates the experience of being able to see these runners live in person. You can see his displeasure or annoyance, the fact that he did, I think, get I don't know if he got frame rolled. He certainly got bumped by one of the green cars there as part of the dash. Did you happen to see if we picked up the map before and Escape in like that first chest?
Catch it.
Okay.
Haven't seen anything of interest yet.
Okay, so yeah, so
we have a bottle in the map. Excuse me, the blue boomerang chest.
Okay, cool. That's good. Yeah. All right. So I guess the good thing of being able to pick up a bottle is that we don't have to necessarily delay a sick kit check. We can get over to Kakariko. Yes, and actually it's actually a very good point made in chat by Breve, in that if we were probably more astute with our item resource counters up top, we actually will see that there is a small key that is incremented to 1. Therefore, there probably is, we got a small key out of the map chest. Kappa actually looks like there was actually a little bit of an issue dealing with the ball and chain guard. Very good that he did not dying to the ball and chain guard, which I believe you had mentioned before during the NMG tournament, that this is basically the final boss of Escape, or maybe even the game.
Final. Yeah, the most difficult boss that is not a boss.
Yeah. Now, actually, so is the ball and chain guard made easier with the boots, Chucks? Do you know?
I don't believe it is in any respect that I can think of, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I
certainly still dangerous.
Yeah, and I guess I was actually we've done so many casual boots, and I don't think I ever knew the answer to that question. So I'm glad you're here.
I'll see what I can do to help answer any questions.
That's right.
That may arise.
Yeah, well, PlasmaKappa is the one who asked for help, so hopefully, whatever he has asked for, I guess sometime in the past, hopefully we can help him out this time. So yeah, for those of you who especially maybe more familiar with NMG or more some vanilla strats, without the boots, of course, that we don't get to start with in the vanilla game. Typically, your aim here is trying to get basically like sub 6 minutes for 555, something like that. It's considered to be a pretty good escape time. Of course, with the boots, the aim, of course, is to just try and shave off a whole minute. And we're gonna see, I guess, what in this case Buane and PlasmaKappa ends up with. Okay, so at least PlasmaKappa confirmed that we did get 20 more rupees, so we haven't actually seen the map item yet, correct? We have
that would
3
be
more
correct.
chests. All right, so we're hoping. Oh, never mind. So I guess we are gonna have to open up the sanctuary chest. Not very much though in terms of resources, other than that bottle that we got in a Zelda cell. Or no, sorry, in the boomerang chest. Excuse me.
The vanilla game, the key rat is really the final boss of Escape, but with boots,
you can't die, right?
You can't die. No, you're not going to take a quarter heart of damage and die to the key rat. Well, you could after several dozens of attempts. There might be a situation in which, that's the last straw. But it's so rare.
Yeah, I guess maybe like the final boss of Escape isn't going to kill you with health, but it's going to kill your speed running hubris, I guess, by basically just costing you a bunch more time.
Yeah, and that's okay, really.
Alright, so it looks like actually Buane did end up doing a map check. After he got out of Escape, I think I saw a 503, I want to say. I hope he was okay with that time, because it actually just seemed pretty good. We did get a confirmation map check though. It looks like it was Green Pendant Hera and a 5-6 Resort Desert. Picking up a bottle, and the tree pole is actually really nice because they always want a couple bombs over it early in Kakariko. Buane trying to get the bush crab, but I guess the bee kind of basically prevented him from getting that full magic drop.
I want that magic. I'm
I
not
guess
even in this race.
Yeah, this early on, you definitely want as many resources as you can. And I guess actually a good thing to note about this mode for SGL, it is casual boots, but slightly modified hard item pool. The fact that they do have a bottle pretty early is quite nice in terms of safeties, but the bottles, you're going to be capped at being able to hold on to only 2 of them, and they always come empty. So like that full magic refill, you're gonna have to work in order to, in this case, maybe pick up an extra potion, get a fairy, or basically, make conscious that you don't in this case get any like extra freebies.
Kappa created some of the worst lag I've ever seen in Skull Woods due to spawning a bush guard.
Oh, the Lost Woods?
Yeah.
It's the other Skull Woods, the happier version, the one with better music, in my opinion.
I'm sorry, did I say Skull Woods?
You know what? It's if we do palette shuffle, it looks pretty much just like Skull Woods.
Yeah. All right, so Buane is off to Kakariko Village, and I assume Kappa is going there as well.
Yeah, it looks like actually, especially with that bottle, it seems kind of maybe less appealing, I want to say, to maybe delay the village just that slight bit much. Mainly also because one of the reasons maybe you're delaying it is so you can get the flute and the bottle, right? So you don't have to come back. Maybe if you're really lucky, you end up getting like the hammer and the powder, or maybe like a mushroom and samari or something, right? But in this case, they already have one of the 2 main fetch quests that you can do, so they basically have to, they may as well just come back here a second time to get the flute later.
The lamp can be found in the well?
Wouldn't you want a lamp before you drop down? Like, you would think the lamp and the fire rod would want to be in more well-lit locations, okay?
The well's not a dark room, though.
Yeah. Even though the entry and the drop down, they all look pretty dark to me. We ended up also picking up the other cane, the blue cane of Samaria, so that is going to be a nice safety invincibility item. I believe it does also technically put part of well, you at least have the path in Spike Cave available. You'll need a couple more, things to actually, get to like the beginning and the end. So far, though, it's we have both light sources or what are fire sources. So maybe but I mean, are you ever worried out of curiosity, Chex? Like if you see a lamp early, like do you think we're gonna go visit like some more NMG areas?
Like
Aghanim and like Castle Tower, because that could we're kind of missing like a lot of like all of our Dark World access at this point.
Right, this is true. Yeah, I'm not worried, but we do have the mirror in the back of the tavern.
That is a actually really nice find early on. Nothing really, I guess, of major use in the light world quite yet. I think you could do a couple of like, block deletes or something like that. But especially if we're gonna end up doing some bunny walking potentially in the dark world without that moon pearl, that mirror's gonna come in pretty handy.
Nice shovel dash for Buane. He's rewarded with 20 rupees for using the shovel, but he does not pick it up.
That is actually maybe he is interested in, or he's I guess banking on maybe that he'll be able to pick up enough money potentially for Zora while that bush guard, or was it bush guard, grass guard? That was super close. I'm surprised Buane didn't get hit.
More lag on Buane's side this time.
Yeah, actually, like all of these like bush guards are like bringing back memories from like NMG when you're like, let's say like in like Lost Woods or something, you're just trying to dash and it's like you just don't want to get hurt, right? Like otherwise it's gonna like mess up everything. And these are bringing back some unpleasant situations.
Interesting difference in routing. Buane dashed from the Sacred Grove. I don't know if it's called Sacred Grove. It's the Grove?
I think it is Sacred Grove, maybe.
Yeah. To South Shore, while Kappa saved and quit to Link's house, which I think might be faster.
We're gonna have to. Well, we can ask one of them potentially for timing. Although in terms of speed clearing Mini Moldorm Cave, looks like Buane actually got the better RNG because Kappa is still in this case trying to battle them out. So Buane is. Taking out the loots from Mini Moldorm, and we actually see a bunch of really nice red weapons. Cane of Samaria. The cave, if you weren't worried before, maybe it's time to get more worried. We also do have a moon pearl, so how aggressive are you, Chex, on going to Castle Tower? It doesn't seem very pleasant right now with this current loadout.
Okay, you're right, I'm concerned.
I mean, typically at least when we try and, at least in like the vanilla game, right? When you're going up to Castle Tower, depending on whether or not you pick up the Sanctuary Heart, you're something like between, I don't know, like, 6 or 7 hearts or something like that, right? And, but you have Master Sword, right? And here, we're a little lower on hearts, and we're a little lower on swords.
So we see Buane and Kappa both setting up a water walk, dashing along the edge of Ice Rod Cave so that they can activate a water walk. I didn't see if Buane checked the island, but he's just going to check the waterfall first. And we'll see what he does with this.
Oh, alright, so it looks like though he does not end up having enough sword money. Man, both of these guys are actually very close. And to note actually, so Buane. Oh man, do you think Kappa's gonna go for that 20 rupees on Zorlich? So both of them went to the dig spot, right?
That's funny.
And they dug up 20 rupees, and they both didn't pick it up. So Buane is like 4 rupees short somewhere. I'm not actually sure where Kappa ended up getting the 20, but Kappa's not even gonna check the Zorlich ledge in this case. Wow.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess group them together if he wants to.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know if Kappa would have gone to Zora in that case if if he ended up picking up 20 rupees. Wow. Alright, that looks like though, so at least Kappa checked the ledge for us. It was just 20 rupees, not anything worth our time later on. Looks like the hobo is also not going to help us with any money today.
Yeah. So what is next for Buane and Kappa? Safe and quitting around the same time. Pretty cool.
Yeah, actually, it looks like it's very similar rounding so far, right? Both of them got out, went to check the they checked the lumberjack, and I don't think anything was there. They went to Lost Woods, they went through Kakariko. Very, very small divergent choice of path to go down to Mini Moldorm from, like I said, and quit versus running. And now they're both gonna check Sahasura.
Curious if they are going to Eastern Palace.
Alright. Certainly not Buane, because
No
he's saving
for
quitting.
No for Kappa.
Same with Kappa. So they do absorb money for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Not sure how motivated they are right now to actually go back. It is actually surprisingly not in logic, technically, because we don't have the gloves, or we don't have flippers. Typically, at this point, you have at least one of them. Do you see where Buane's going?
Yeah, Buane's going to Aghanim. That is, it's like you mentioned before. It's in logic. We've got the cape, we've got the lamp, and in contrast, Kappa's going to the dam, which it was interesting he skipped it earlier, but he can kind of combine it with Zord now if he wants to. See what happens.
Yeah, I am also curious if this is a dam into Agina. In this case, since he did kind of he already went over to the right side, and then what is he trying to do? What is he digging for?
I don't know. Magic? I don't know.
This is actually a good question, because I'm not sure what would be over here that would because he has 10 bombs. So I didn't think he needed any more bombs. But okay, so whatever he was looking for, he ended up not getting it after 5 digs. So
maybe maybe he's in a crowd control race and someone switched his A and Y buttons.
And that is certainly possible. Alright, looks like though nothing at Agina. So in logic, what actually do we have left in the light world? We do have all of Eastern Palace, right? Do we have anything else?
I don't know of anything else myself.
Yeah. Try to think if there was anything else that both of our runners haven't checked yet. Perhaps that was maybe part of the reason that Buane decided to just rush Castle Tower immediately, but I guess without checking Agina. Right now, we have the Moon Pearl, but we need 2 gloves or a glove and a hammer. It's 2 items out of it sounds like what from Buane's perspective 4 possible checks. So maybe he just thinks it's just low odds at that point.
Yeah, it's a good call. It opens up Eastern Dark World. So, yeah, I think it's a good call.
I actually really... go for it.
You.
Sorry. No. I was actually just going to comment that Kappa actually... So he ended up seeing what the Waterfall Fairy had as a prize for an empty bottle. He ended up getting a blue potion out of it, which actually is probably the best value that you're going to get.
Right.
Yeah. And he actually he just used it right before, I guess, he started his climb. And he was able to basically use his fire rod shots to really make some of the rooms much faster.
Oh, right. So before when I mentioned magic, yeah, that makes sense because we're seeing Buane do Fire Rod Escape and Kappa wants magic usage for a faster, for faster strats in this dungeon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's really probably not too pleasant to go through this place with only Fighter Sword. I want to say a lot of the strats, I guess, are just kind of based on Master Sword, right? You can do sword spins, you can do sword beams, your spins sometimes end up basically killing enemies, as opposed to Fighter Sword where it's a little, it takes a little bit longer.
For sure. In the all dungeon speedrun, a lot of top times go for Fire Rod strats, but it's Fire Rod strats in combination with Tempered Sword. So
oh
this
wow,
particular
really?
yeah, so it's pretty fast, and you know, it's not something where we don't have a low power sword. So with fighter sword, we have to like pay a lot of attention to how we're defeating each guard if we're really going to optimize it.
Okay, so actually this sounds like, at least for Fighter Sword, it is actually maybe more like rando specific, or like it's more common in rando, yeah. So Buane, I guess like, so Kappa is just it's just starting basically his Agnum's one fight. On Buane's side, it looked like there were a lot of blue balls, so hopefully Kappa's not going to get too, I guess, bored with this fight. The important part, of course, is that you just don't miss any energy shots. If you miss an energy shot and it causes another like lightning cycle, it's like a really feels bad moment.
Yeah, that would be a bit of an embarrassing difference between one's opponent if it were to happen to someone.
All right, yeah. So you know, at least this is rando, and that Agnum 1, Agnum 2, and Ganon are all seeded the same. So you know, you're not gonna have a situation where one runner ends up getting like 11 blue balls, let's say. You know, just a random number out there, and you know, versus another runner who has maybe like 3.
Yeah, that would be very silly if it would have happened in an NMG
of course,
the NMG tournament.
Okay, so I think we did spy after Buane landed on the pyramid. There was a red boomerang there. I guess Buane has actually opted to, in this case, not pick it up, even though we are actually short both boomerangs. I don't know if it's like worthwhile to these runners in order to just have a boomerang, but in this case, maybe Buane thinks it's not worth his time picking up.
It's like, it's a minor time save potentially in Ganon's tower, and maybe in like Paradox Cave. So it could have been a wash if Buane had picked it up, really. But I would say that Buane sees it as filler in the menu, basically. We don't really.
Yeah, no, that's like that. Yeah, that also seems true, right? I guess you have like any extra item that you have is just gonna be another thing you have to either menu across or you have to quick swap. Oh,
Kappa's good.
Yeah, Kappa is gonna pick this up though. I guess. So we must have gotten a map check at some point, or Buane, of course, you know, just thanks to I guess like the hotfix, or the latest hotfix. We actually do see the pod is a pendant based on the P in the upper left. And Buane actually just picked up a glove here in Pendant Pod.
Yeah, I missed the glove. I did see him check the map, so we did get that information.
Okay.
Myers the other pendant.
Ah, okay. Kappa needs to be a bit careful. So we did see a saving quit from him earlier, right as he basically transitioned out. I'm not sure if that was, I guess, intentional, or maybe he like wanted to go do something, but he wasn't quite sure. Regardless, he was, I guess, started because I saving quit with like, I think it was 3 hearts or something, and did he get frame rolled or something by a something, Ropa, Moblin? He got hit.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, so he definitely needs to be a bit careful with his health. Good thing he picked up that boomerang, by the way, right? It was a really nice safety in order to get him through pod. I was also going to, I guess, maybe mention that. So part of, I guess, maybe like some of the uncertainty or divergence potential once you do aggro from Dark World access is that you do have access to pod, and presumably if you do aggro for Dark World access, you don't have like the hammer and the glove, right? Or you know, you don't have like the hammer and the bow and everything you would need to clear out pod. And so then the question then becomes like, do I go do pod, or should I do like a pyramid catfish type of thing? And of course, the good news is that they didn't have a glove when they exited pyramid, or a hammer, so they were just basically funneled into pod. So in this case, it was actually really nice to be able to not have to make that decision.
Absolutely. So Buane is returning to the pyramid, which is kind of interesting. It must mean he's going to catfish.
Yeah, I guess is there I guess like much else left? So he did have the mirror, so he had the opportunity, I guess, to go back into Eastern Palace. It really does seem like I don't know if it's just more the meta, I guess, like these days. It seems like people just don't want to go into Eastern without that bow, without the one and only bow, by the way. You know, this is actually one of those modes where, or one of the only modes in this case where bows are actually not progressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll be a little bit surprised if neither player goes into Eastern, but at the same time, it's forgettable. It's forgettable in my opinion, but we'll see. So we've got a glove. I mean, that puts Catfish in Logic and Zora. I'm not sure what'll come of this.
Zora, you're right, actually. So this is actually going to be pretty nice for Buane. He is going to be able to combine this, actually, and not have to orphan Zora. Mm-hmm. Now, I did observe, so in the last race that Buane had versus Jem, he was wearing a shirt that indicated that hopefully Zora will give him something useful like the hammer. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. And so I think he decided that that shirt was cursed or something. So we're seeing a different color shirt, hoping it'll bring him better luck.
Let's hope so. Just a piece of heart. It's looking like... Well, does the glove open up anything else? It's looking like Eastern has to be it.
I think with that glove and the lamp, we could potentially, we could potentially have, right, and we're gonna have to go there, you know, the old-fashioned way. We can't teleport up there. We can't fly up there. We're gonna go along the path and be good scouts, and you know, do our good deed of, I guess, like of the seed and rescue out the old man. Speaking of, I guess this is the post-Aga light world. I totally forgot there was a blue guard for some reason guarding that cave.
Yeah, the post-Aghanim world is completely mysterious to me. I never know what guards to expect.
Yeah, not only
just wait till we get to Eastern Palace.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Oh man. Yeah. Somehow, like the places that you don't expect, like beefed up security, like suddenly are just like swarming with guards. All right. So looks like though Kappa is going to follow suit basically along. Basically, it seems like so far a pretty linear path so far. Good thing we did get frame roll by the robot. That's always good. So he looks like he's going to make his check into Catfish and presumably also Zora as well. He's going to see that. He's going to see that ledge that he did end up seeing before.
All right. So it looks like we will soon see Hera from Buane. It's funny, we got our progression from Pendant Pot, now we're going into the next Pendant Dungeon, I suppose.
Oh, I guess at least this is Green Pendant. I don't know if that makes people feel any better, honestly. But yeah, it seems like definitely one of those seeds where, I guess we're gonna have to go visit all the Pendant Dungeons before we can go visit a Crystal Dungeon.
Very nice fake flippers from Kappa, employing Samaria and Red Boom to put stuff on the screen.
Oh, this is actually really interesting. This is actually good. I think this is good thinking from him too, because he remembers that he has 2 bottles now. And he gets 2 free blue potions out of this. That is some heads up thinking.
Yeah, it's also nice just coming out, you'll be able to water walk.
Oh my gosh, dude. That is, man. I think Kappa is like 5 steps ahead of us. Checks. This is some really good efficient routing on his part.
Yeah. I'm here struggling to think of what gloves open up. Kappa is really on it here.
Yeah, you're right though, man. So thank you in advance, Point, for picking up the heart wherever it came from. It looks like maybe from Petting too. So we didn't have to hear the heart beeps, double heart beeps of encouragement. I think, you know, the fact that we're here cheering both these runners on hopefully should be enough.
I should turn up the volume.
What checks? What? All right, so I think based on Buane's at least a trip into Hera earlier, I think we did see both items at least. We don't have to go sit through the basement. I think it's just like a heart piece and a red rupee. But at least, surely the green pendant is going to give us something good, right? Because we have found nothing so far up on here on the mountain.
Quite nice is that neither runner has checked Eastern Palace, so if they want, they're just on their way there.
Yeah, no, that's true. Well, so maybe that green pendant will bring, like, will further motivate Buane to basically go back there, right? Because he's gonna be able to turn the green pendant with into Sahasha, and then he has another opportunity to go inside. I will say it does look like Kappa is maybe just like a little bit behind Buane, as in like he, you know, at this point he's almost like a Harrisworth dungeon behind. But it is worth pointing out that Kappa ended up doing a couple he went over to Agena, a desert area, then Buane does not end up doing that.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, but nevertheless, though, I think both runners are executing quite well. I mean, just seems like the seed so far is just pretty linear in terms of pathing, routing.
Yeah, and Buane might not be feeling good about skipping Eastern, but that's fine. Kappa is also skip Eastern.
Yeah. So certainly from our perspective, it's both runners have skipped the same thing, so it's not going to be any advantage or disadvantage. But of course, they don't know what the other runner's doing, right?
Yeah. Simultaneous big pieces of pickups.
Honestly, honestly though, like if I were in PlasmaKappa's shoes, like it feels like so far. A lot of these dungeons, these for like Hera, right? This is basically like an NMG loadout. I don't know if you would necessarily be just slightly concerned, given that, Buane is pretty experienced in NMG. Like he's one of the handful of people that has a 123 time. That hammer in Eastern Palace is is certainly a necessary find. I mean, so far at least we know that it looks like Aghanim was required regardless, but I mean, in order to have the hammer a little bit earlier would have been pretty much, probably a little bit nicer.
Exactly. Aghanim is our access to the Dark World that granted us gloves, and now with hammer we can access the main Dark World.
Yeah. And actually, you bring up a good point, Chucks. Like it's good that I guess we found, well, okay, it's good as a net result that we have both the hammer and the glove, as opposed to the the mitts, or the glove and the other glove. It's just so, like, as you said, we get basically all of the Dark World portals, including, of course, Aghanim himself, like the one in the castle, as opposed to, like, we just have mitts, we just have the one Dark World portal, and while Hammer Go Mode sounds like a great thing, and because Hammer locks out so much, routing to get to the Hammer Go Mode is a little bit more awkward.
Yeah. Not this time. So we have a nice cape strat from Kappa. I didn't see what Buane's Moldorm strat was, but waiting for the rage phase and then activating cape, ensured that we wouldn't get knocked off in that fast-moving phase.
Yeah, that's certainly that's actually a good observation that you made, Jax. Like, I think Kappa is very interested, and he also knows, right, like how in this case to basically take on these fights, with like as much safety as he needs without really sacrificing any time. I want to say that Buane just kind of followed his maybe NMG instincts, just treated it, as another NMG trip up to Hera and fight Moldorm type of thing, since it basically was just a fighter sword at that point. Fighter sword and boots.
Yeah, for sure. Red Boomerang remains strong for Kappa.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, looks like actually Sahasha with the green pendant gave us the sanctuary heart, because I did see Kappa's life get completely refilled.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, Yeah, I guess maybe another thing kind of like worth mentioning, as part of the modified heart item pool, there are 2 regular heart containers, and the sanctuary heart container, so 3 effective ones, and then everything else is heart pieces. It's kind of why you see like our runners basically on like a little bit, like the health growth is a bit slower, just because you're picking up more heart pieces, right, in order to try and increase your maximum health. Probably actually another one of the reasons why you see Kappa, I think he ended up picking up both heart pieces, that point, at least so far, has skipped. Like one at the dam, and then one, oh man, and like, yeah, hidden her basement, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the use of the cave strats here as well. You know, forget trying to, you know, play RNG favors.
Yeah.
Just go through. You got the cave. Speaking of more difficult low sword percentage fights, are you ready for this Mothula fight?
Yeah, this is an exciting thing, and so we're going to be curious here about how much magic power we'll approach Moth with. And by the way, Kappa saves and quits out of the east side of Eastern. Really interesting play.
Yeah, that actually is. I don't think we found anything else in Eastern Palace, at least from Buane's side. So if assume he goes back there with just a bow, and then doesn't do that, I think it's going to be a good time save over Buane.
Right. Kappa might be thinking, you know, he's checked everything. So maybe there's some way to save time. In other words, not waste time in this dungeon that probably doesn't have anything else.
Yes. Wait.
Yeah, this is an intense fight.
Oh yeah, that's right. Buane ended up buying a potion.
Yes,
oh my gosh, Buane!
We're good.
Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, like it was like a spike. It was like almost like a 1-2 spike and moth or something. Jeez, like, and almost just knocked Buane for quite the loop. But good thing, at least a blue potion refills magic too. Looks like Kappa is just following suit. We're gonna go into Skull Woods. I mean, this is also like, is it a good or bad thing that this is a completely clearable crystal dungeon, and we're still on Fighter Sword? Right? I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but the fact that we can clear it. I mean, you just saw Buane take down Moth with only Fighter Sword and Hammer.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. So
it's
good
almost,
thing, I say.
Well, it's certainly very challenging, but I mean, honestly, for this kind of seed, I'm actually really glad that these particular runners have it, just because they are such good, high execution players.
Yeah, and they're prepared.
Yes.
Like you said, Kappa, put both of his bottles to use and filled them with blue potions. And Buane stopped before Zora to shop for a blue.
Oh yeah, actually, that's a good point. Actually, did he buy 1 or 2? Maybe just 1, because it looks like maybe just 1.
I'm not sure about that.
Because I guess I'm seeing like basically like the money difference between Buane and PlasmaKappa, and it looks like it's about a blue's potion's worth. Because because like PlasmaKappa was had a smart enough idea in order to basically fake flipper and sell it into Waterfall Fairy to get himself a couple of free ones. Looks like though, PlasmaKappa is also interested in saving some magic. You guys can kind of see him not do the super fast strats, but kind of going around trying to hit both torches with 1 fire rod shot.
Yep.
Oh good. Buane is interested in getting out of this dungeon. Did we end up finding anything useful in Skull Woods?
Definitely not useful. All right, so it's a hammer fight for Kappa, and we're not reaching Mothula with this situation where Moth hangs out at the top.
Yeah, no, this is so bad. Like, you don't want to see this kind of RNG. Like, and of course, like, and I guess in NMG, like, or any other time where you have a better weapon, it's maybe more tolerable. But Kappa, I mean, he kept his distance and he took down Moth. Like it's just like Just another routine fight for him.
Exactly. Patience prevailed. And you've got the final hammer hit. So off to the northern Dark World for Buane, we found nothing but a blue mail upgrade on Bumper Ledge, so we will be skipping that for now.
And so far, especially as we get kind of deeper into this tournament and bracket, like I think the time where you actually go into Bumper Cave and get the item is basically something that you hard need. Like I think I've even seen runners in this case like skip the lamp when they already have Fire Rod, and it's just like, well, I guess we're gonna do Fire Rod Ganon today.
Yep, we would.
Yeah.
Go lampless. Yeah. So what's next for Buane? Probably the village.
Yeah, that's certainly what it looks like, because it looks like he is actually interested in keeping his portal. Presumably this is going to be faster. Well, actually, no, I guess it has to be, because
yeah,
even if you save and quit, you have to go back. You don't have a flute at this point, right?
There's nowhere to go.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's already done Catfish with Sora, so yeah, this could be our best option.
Yeah. I mean, we could see a hype cave play, but yeah, Buane's going directly to the village.
I guess maybe it just makes more sense in terms of routing in order to do Skullwoods first before coming into the village. Like, I guess maybe the idea, as you said, is like maybe they want to basically clear out all of the north stuff and then kind of make their way south, I guess, after the village. They can make it over the Hype Cave or something. Or at least like finish up in that area.
It makes sense. They get a crystal out of the way. And the south part of the world would be a separate trip if it were started there. So now we're in Thieves Town.
We're still at Fighter Sword checks, by the way.
We are in Fighter Sword, yeah.
Yeah, at some point, you know, we would probably, well, we're certainly going to require at least one more sword, but, you know, maybe we'd like to find that sword, you know, on the sooner side. I guess for what it's worth, at least. Oh, okay. Also, interesting Thieves Town that we found 3 items in the front. Looks like Buane, though, is I guess that red boomerang for him is just gonna sit there on Pyramid Ledge forever, because we're definitely not going to see him pick that up after getting the boomerang here.
No, Buane wants to upgrade his boomerang. I'm
sure.
Oh,
right. Okay. So he can actually can he throw it in Waterfall Fairy? He can, right? In order to get the red one? No, he can't. Okay. All right.
No, I don't think so.
You know, if he hasn't even thrown in a bottle into Waterfall Fairy, I think the boomerang is just like not in the picture.
Yeah, it's not.
Did you just see Buane like readjust himself onto the pixel and then make the dash? That was impressive.
Yeah, the Hellway is known for being really RNG heavy and slowing you down and causing a lot of damage. So it's quite a relief when no time is lost there.
I guess also maybe well, how much of a difference do you think Fighter Sword makes in the dungeon itself, like here in Thieves Town, versus like Master Sword? So, as I know that Master Sword versus Tempered is actually a pretty big difference, right? Because you can always just one-shot the enemies, but like here, you can't really kill anything either way.
Yeah, it's just potentially dealing with the skeletons and the blue Zazics, but
right.
You know, we don't really need to fight them anyway, so it doesn't make a difference.
I had forgotten that you can actually kill some of the enemies in one shot with the Master Sword. It just seems like most of the things, I guess, as you said, care about are in most of the things that are in your path that you care about. You can't kill in one shot.
It's only a matter of dodging a bone when picking up the key. That's the only thing.
Okay. Okay, so it looks like though we did find a map and compass and small key, unfortunately. So it looks like the last item is going to be on Blind himself, herself, itself, themselves. I guess we could ask what Blind likes to be referred to as.
We know that an NPC in the US version of the game tells us about Blind and how he hated light a lot.
Oh, you're right. It was Blind the Thief, and it was, I believe the pronoun was he. Yeah. Good memory checks. That looks pretty important. What do you think?
No surprise, we found the myths in Thieves Town. Nice fight for Buane. Kappa on 1 heart.
Yeah, in fact, like, so he had 1 heart even in the attic as he was dashing, and like it is tense, by the way, watching him dash, because he actually hit a cricket as the screen was transitioning, and so it's like, I hope he lives. I mean, he probably will. I mean, as he did here, but it's just it's not a place that you want to die in Thieves Town. I mean, no, it's not really any place you want to die in Thieves Town, but yeah, especially the attic is not appealing. So, the myths are actually pretty fortunate, right? Because you just found it. Buane also picked up a book from Brewery, and so he's going to be able to do all of this overworld pretty efficiently. He's going to be able to do smiths if he wants to, deliver the purple chest, and then go down, and he wants to go all the way and check like Bobbo's tablet. We still can't get it unless we find a sword along the way, but at least we can see what it is. And if we have to come back. Buane, alright, so we're gonna tell him. Yeah. We're gonna tell him after the raids that he's gonna have to practice sticking game. That's gonna be his highest priority after this.
Yeah, JLo makes a good point about finding myths in Dark World. We really, yeah. Oh, by the way,
yes, Chucks. We did see flippers.
Yeah.
So we're going to Ice Palace next. Is that?
Yeah. I was thinking. You know, with myths, it unlocks the entrance of Ice Palace, Dark Death Mountain. I don't know how appealing Ice Palace is at this point, but why not? It's a crystal dungeon.
So, you know, of course, the good news is that they have both the hammer and the cane of Samaria. Those are probably at least the requisites. I imagine it would be nice to have a hook shot. There are probably some logical implications as well. You get the hook shot versus not. You know, they probably want like another sword or two or something. They probably also want to go buy another potion. If that's the case, I'm gonna go decide to tackle Ice Palace. I mean, we have watched both these runners very skillfully take down every single boss so far with the fighter sword. I have every confidence that they're willing to do that with the Colster. It just might be, you know, maybe a bit more dangerous and slower for their taste.
All right, and once again, we are leaving behind the purple chest at Cave 45 because we are going to save our next mirror usage for in front of the locksmith, and we can simply mirror there to have the chest unlocked.
Yeah, it looks like the Buane is probably interested in doing Hype Cave first. This actually seems at least reasonable in terms of routing, just so you can come back and then do, like, as you said, purple chests, and then still check Bombo's tablet. Let's see what Hype Cave has to offer us. I think we should have just skipped Hype Cave. What do you think, Chex?
Yeah, I like the chest turn at the end of it.
Oh, yeah! that lets him put down a bomb too.
Yeah, the bomb reveals our feelings about this cave.
Yeah.
But that's fine. We're not going to avoid it. That would be a pretty silly skip at this point. Okay, just a red rupee from Purple Chest.
Just a red rupee. Buane expresses his satisfaction in justifying his decision to do smith chain.
Oh, I missed the Book of Medora. If that was found.
Oh, that was in the brewery and in the village.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think actually there was a very slight divergence. Kappa ended up picking it up before he went to Thieves Town, and Buane did it afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Buane reminding us that he has also not done Akina. But oh yeah, no, this is actually going to be really good for Buane because he hasn't. This is really good routing, right? Because he hasn't been over here. He just got the book, and he's going to be able to visit the desert area in one go.
Yeah. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's almost as if he's played this game once or twice.
He's pretty good at this game.
Yeah.
Through experience and skill.
Okay, so when you use the book to open up Desert Palace, it's the same music that plays in Sanctuary, right? It's like the little praying music, I guess, and whenever you spend too much time in Sanctuary, you don't hear the second part of the music, right? So it's you get worried when you end up hearing the second the more of it, because then it means that you didn't press OK or whatever in this case to open up the gates of desert because you ended up taking too long. I don't know if that made any sense, but I always get a little bit anxious.
Yeah, it's a sound effect that mimics that track, that's for sure. So we can't really hear the musical number, but we certainly want to dismiss it and move on with the game.
Yes. Oh, that's right. So this is actually a fully clearable crystal dungeon. So Kappa, having checked Akina earlier, he does not have to, in this case, make the the longer detour over there. So she looks like the race is. I mean, it's the distance suddenly seems to be actually a little bit closer than it was before. Still on fighter sword checks, by the way. Just an observation.
Just an observation. Nothing too out of the ordinary in Desert Palace. We are a little bit overpowered since, of course, we have Fire Rod and a lot of hearts as well. But this isn't about being scary. It's just about clearing the dungeon as fast as possible. But yeah, it really feels like a race. So yeah, Buane's the second part of this, just waiting for the torches to light, and we're on to Landmo.
Yeah, it looks like he was pretty interested in using that lamp in order to light the torches so he can save as many fire rod shots as he can. And wow, what a takedown!
Nice one, Cycle.
Yeah, wow, that is a good showing of fire rod execution. So that's Buane's third crystal. We actually do see a bit of a difference. We see actually Buane's small key counter is 1, so he actually decided to go straight over to the boss, hoping that in this case Landmo would drop his last item, but it didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, so Kappa, though, on the other hand, decided to just venture over there to the right side, and we did see, I think it was Compass Chest, whatever, the first one that had the item, so you didn't have to go all the way to the vanilla key chest.
Okay, cool. So when Buane saves and quits out of here, inevitably, will he go to Death Mountain? Will he go to Ice Palace? Will he go to Swamp Palace?
Oh,
probably not Swamp.
That's certainly possible because I guess like it looks like both Kappa and Buane had the opportunity to do Swamp Palace. While they're kind of in the area, right, of whatever Hype Cave slash Purple Chest Turn In. No hookshot and hammer makes like the trip into Swamp Palace a little bit less appealing, right? So I think if you didn't have the hammer, some people might be willing to at least venture to see what the first chest is, right? But it's like once you have the hammer, you have too much access, and then it's like, do I really want to do hookless, Crystal Swamp? And it's yeah.
And it does look like a potion trip for Buane, so it's gonna be ice, right?
Buane
has to be what this means.
So Buane is really simulating the Hyrule economy. I think every single rupee he's picked up has basically gone either into Zora or gone to the potion shop.
And Kiki, of course.
Oh, and Kiki, that's right, yeah. A good thing he picked up that 1 rupee from the game. It's I think every single cent at this point has helped him get to where he is today.
Yeah. If there's any other vendor selling things, I think Buane is a good target.
Yeah, audience. That's right. Looks like though Kappa is also following suit. So he ended up using. Did he use 1 potion since he bought the 2? I want to say yes.
I'm guessing he still has at least 1.
Yeah, okay. Right, so he has at least 1. I wasn't sure if he had both of them, but regardless, both runners are here in Ice Palace on Fighter Sword. And that was a really nice bomb strat on Buane's side to kill all the pen gators. Let's see. Yeah, if Kappa's gonna be able to do the same thing, there is so much lag.
Okay, interesting strat. So I wasn't familiar with the sort of left-right bomb that Buane set down. And I was familiar with Kappa's strat, placing 2 to the right, the Tarso pen gators. It worked out well for Buane.
Yeah.
Kappa's, of course, had to do a bit of cleanup, and we are, of course, still on Fighter Sword.
We cannot, I think, say that enough, Jax. We are still on Fighter Sword. I'm not sure if it's gonna get much better, by the way. If we do find another sword in here, I mean, it is gonna be better than the Fighter Sword, but we would really like that Tempered Sword.
Yeah, it's hard to tell at this point. I mean, we just have no idea. There's still so many more items to find. We're almost an hour into the seed, and there's still so many more items. We're a few away from go mode at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so we have found 2 items so far in Ice Palace. We found $50, which for Buane is just going to certainly, continue to fund basically his potion addiction. And we found 3 bombs. So what is the last item, I guess, in Ice Palace? Hopefully it'll be something good. It looks like though from the looks of yeah.
I didn't see. So it's the red rupee. So we are out. We saw that Buane did not hit the switch. So he will need the big key. I didn't quite see whether we have it. But I assume, yeah, we're good.
I assume by the fact that he was able to open that door, well, we have the big key.
Okay, so Kappa went for that strat as well. Okay, good.
Yeah, I think I both saw them not hit the switch after they did Icebreaker.
Okay, that must be pretty common. I was just not sure.
I also was not sure, but I actually thought that people always hit the switch. But it's Buane and Kappa running, so maybe they have different ideas.
Buane, in this case, needs to use a potion.
That is true, because I think based on what Kappa's magic has, he's gonna be able to have enough from the pots. Buane, the fact that he landed so many hammer hits on Colster earlier, that was actually really impressive.
Yeah, there's a lot of RNG in the Puff's movement. So Buane is able to use his skill, well-placed hits along with, the kind Puffs that don't try to wiggle away.
That was,
clean up that fight pretty well.
Yeah, that was a very impressive, well, effectively hammer fighter's sword fight. That was, I will say that it might have been nicer if. Oh no!
Red boomerang.
Good thing he picked up that red boomerang, man. Like that thing has he has paid that thing has paid out dividends for Kappa. I was actually going to say that it does seem like if they actually manage to find Master Sword, maybe another strategy that I think people that able to do is try and duplicate their Fire Rod shots with the Sword Beams. If they can get full health entering Colster, just try and save a couple of extra Fire Rod shots. Not of course an option here because we don't have Sword Beams with Fire Sword.
And fun fact, duping can be more or less successful depending on whether you have used the flute recently.
Oh, really?
It has an effect on the Fire Rod area of effect, of course, as we know from Spooky Action Glitch. And so it has a weird effect on the duping, too. It kind of results in a missed shot sometimes, even though you're doing the dupe right.
Really? Oh man, checks. we should have you on commentary more often for these nuggets of knowledge.
Well, hopefully it'll be relevant in some other match.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, we've got Ether Medallion for Turtle Rock. We have not seen this medallion yet.
We have not seen any medallions. So we have seen the same number of medallions as sword upgrades. Isn't that a fun fact, Checks?
Right. 0.
We are continuing the 0 trend. I think actually Buane even named his stream last night Buane 0. I hope that was not like a curse for the seed or foreshadowing. Oh man,
was it Buane
that
0
fairy.
Or Buano?
Maybe we should ask him. That fairy was such a temptation for PlasmaKappa. Like, he tried to get closer, and the fairy just flew away.
All right, so we're seeing Paradox Cave from Buane in this East Dark Death Mountain trip. We haven't been this way at all yet.
Yeah, I think we were up here. We had just a mirror. All right, so we have Bombos. Unknown if it's required immediately. Hookshot is definitely really good. Which is perfect because we haven't been Hookshot Cave yet. That was basically one of our last stops.
Yeah. So, it's, for me anyway, it's time to start counting down what we actually need for Go Mode. Meyer is a pendant, so we don't really have to worry about its medallion or the flute right now. So we really just want to focus on finding the bow and Ice Rod, along with Ether and another sword upgrade.
Checks. Well, at least we found an upgrade that's not going to be useful to us. You do see our half magic replacement, which is small magic decanter. But Checks, so like we're like a little over an hour into the seed, and the 4 items that you listed are like terrible items to go find. Like, you have the Ice Rod, you have, which, could be anywhere, you have a medallion, which, I guess, can't be inside Turtle Rock, which basically can be anywhere. We have the one and only bow, which is also pretty limited, pretty open. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's, the way the seed has gone, our runners have been able to clear it efficiently. It's not slow because we've had to double dip things or anything. It's just slow because it's been rather linear.
That's actually a good point, and the fact that they are only, as you said, we need another sword for go mode. They've only been on fighter swords, so they really had to basically kind of rely on their, I would say, like less muscle memory proof, you know, like dungeon clears and boss fights, especially fighters was going to make things basically a lot slower. And it's been very impressive, by the way, right? In order to see some of this execution done, but you know, it just really can't beat like temper sword execution.
Yeah, for sure.
So speaking of linear, so you know, PlasmaKappa is hot on Buane's whatever red boots heels. You know, gonna finish up Hookshot Cave, and then do you think he's just gonna follow Buane into Swamp?
It's quite likely. I don't know what else there is available.
We have more of Pod, right? I think. Did we? Maybe no. Never mind. I don't think we can get any more because we need the bow to make more progress.
Yeah, that would make sense. That we need the bow. Yeah. Yeah, Spike Cave is a good idea.
Oh, Spike Cave is a good idea. Yeah, it was. We finally have hammer and a glove, along with those invincibility items we had earlier. That is. I don't know if you want to see that right now, because that does open up the mire area. I guess, you know, the silver lining, of course, with that flute is you do get to travel a bit faster. But I guess we're gonna see in this case like the logic implications, because you know, if mire is bombos, like, do you go in?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, you're just at the mercy of the whims of the seed.
Mm-hmm. It would be kind of nice, by the way, if you know, we didn't have to necessarily dip all pendant dungeons. So, like, for what it's worth, right? Like, Hera didn't actually have anything, but like we were so low on checks, right? That I'm sorry, we have like the checks, you know, human with us here, but we were so low on, you know, scouting locations, right? You know, at that point that you just, you know, you basically like that was your most dense potential. It would be really nice if we didn't have to necessarily go to mire for another two potential more item locations. Vanilla compass. Okay, so it looks like with one dungeon item in the front, Buane is going to opt to go to the back first, so potentially there is going to be at least one item on the left side. Maybe he'll make a better decision as to whether or not he wants to come back. That is a really sad big key location. I guess it could be worse, but you know, it's not like we really want to see it here. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So chances are Buane's gonna, Buane and Kappa's gonna come back in because we just saw the map, we saw the big key, and we saw the compass. So
yeah,
that's left here.
Yeah, that makes sense. That we probably won't see a skip of the left side at this point, especially in the seed.
So checks. We're still on fighter sword. Did we say that enough? The seed?
No. Is that what's happening here? Is this boss fight?
This is Fighter Sword Argus. Welcome to. Looks like Buane is going to try and grab as many puffs as he can, and spin. In this case, spin to win. Just not on Ganon yet. Man, talk about efficient execution. I mean, like, Buane has just like so systematically pulled off all of these puffs. Trying to get the fire rod shots.
Fire rod shot. All right.
That was actually really nice Argus, especially Argus Phase 1. I will say that from the NMG days in the tournament, especially, Buane was actually somewhat on the record for only doing temper sword spins on Phase 2 Argus, just because I think he found it less consistent with the fire rod shots. Because it's like, I think he only missed once in order to basically just like square it off and then only resort back to tempered. And I think it kind of showed here in maybe the redness.
Yeah, it's a hard trick. It's a hard trick.
All right, so hopefully PlasmaKappa is going to have just as good a fight on Fighter Sword Argus. Always makes me a little nervous. He had like the mirror out on his Y item, just hoping he didn't actually have to accidentally hit Y.
Yeah, the spacing is not great. Kappa has been able to mostly just pull one puff at a time. So struggling a little bit more than Buane.
For also what it's worth, they are still on green mail, and the health, well, is probably about on par as to what you would maybe come here regularly in the vanilla game. Argus does do 2 hearts of damage, and you do have the Master Sword, so it's like you could actually get hit a lot, or not. Sorry, you could get hit only a few times, and then suddenly just like be on very low health very quickly, and just not kind of realize it because you don't really expect things to hurt you so much, like 2 hearts of damage. You know, in the second. Basically Dark World dungeon of the game.
Yeah, it's a tough dungeon. If done in order. Alright, nice 2 cycle second phase for Kappa.
Yeah, definitely. We've certainly seen pretty consistently the patient, as you said earlier, you know, patience prevail. Is that what you said? Because I really like that phrasing, the phrase that you used. Kappa basically has just, you know, kept his cool, just been patient, and has survived and is going to live for another fight, or, you know, inside Swamp Palace the second time. All right, so we're gonna find a sword here. Chex, what do you think? Buane, going right side first, I think, or did you knock over?
You went right side first.
Nice.
I would say.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I didn't have time to answer your question. I mean, I would have said yes. There's a sword here, but no, there isn't.
Oh,
we only find the flute.
You're right, though. Oh wow. I mean, what an empty swamp. I mean, there are 3 items in the back, or whatever, left side and center, and it's only thing of value we found is the flute.
Swamp does unlock Pyramid Fairy, so that is where Buane is headed next. Oh, he's gonna go for the bomb dupe. With the Aga portal, this should be a bit of a time save if he can press Y at 0. There should be about 13 frames where this bomb dupe trick works. So it is kind of something you can react to if your reaction time is within 13 frames. In other words, it's less than a quarter of a second.
That is actually, like, so do you know which, like, 13 frames on the 0 mark? Because I heard, like, initially before it has to be, like, right when it hits 0, but you have a little bit more leeway?
Yeah, it has to be, you know, within that window after the 0 appears. But it really can't be on the first frame of 0, because then the bomb will not follow you, but it will follow you for 1 frame, so you think you got it, but you actually don't.
Oh,
it's pretty annoying.
I see, man. Oh, this I am. You learn something new about this game every day. That is actually really cool, and I'm actually glad you also pointed out, like, because they do have the Aga portal, bomb duping. I guess at least the path to bomb duping is certainly less strong, requires less execution. Right? Like, you don't have to, like, dash through a bunch of screens in order to try and get through, like, the Ropus and the Hinoxes and all that stuff.
That's true. And
looks like
Kappa is also following that direction.
Yeah, even, you know what, these guys are just, you know, basically, it's almost like the same, even, like, screen for screen, right? Kappa also got bullied by that Ropa, trying to get into the big bomb shop. Although it looks like, though, Kappa is, or at least he's going to use the portal here, so.
Yeah. So that's good. Both runners remembering that they've defeated Aghanim, you know, creating this portal. So, yeah, Flute has unlocked the Ether Medallion for us. So that opens the way to Turtle Rock. But what else can we do? I missed. Okay, so Myers Quake.
Oh yeah, that's a good catch because I forgot to check that.
Yeah, it looks like we are not going to Mire. It's Turtle Rock, or could Buane be checking Spike Cave?
That's certainly an option.
No.
You know, it looks like it's directly to Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock is denser in this case. It's got, I guess, up to 5 items, depending on the last item is on Trinix or not.
Oh, okay. So Kappa hasn't done North Dark World, so he's checking King's Tomb now.
You are correct so far, Chex, that this seed basically is just very, slow breadcrumb next to slow breadcrumb. Like, we got the flute out of Swamp. Swamp was, I guess, tempting enough us, to get us back inside for 3 more items, which didn't need anything. But that flute led us over to the Mire area, which in this case had our Ether Medallion, which now we can get into Turtle Rock. And hopefully, you know what? I'm gonna make a prediction right now, is that we're gonna find the bow here in Turtle Rock, and we're not gonna find the ice rod, and then we're gonna have to go back into, like, Eastern or Pod. I'm sorry in advance if that actually happens. Yeah. But, like, it just seems like, there's, like, this seed just is not giving our runners much of a break.
Well, if you say that, then I'll say Ice Rod's in Spike Cave.
Okay, alright. So hopefully maybe then Buane, on his way out of the mountain, he'll be able to check Spike Cave. And it seems like it's a reasonable place to kind of, like, end your route too, right?
Oh, for sure.
So, okay, do you think we're gonna find a second sword before we find another piece of progression? Like, actual, bow or ice rod?
I thought you were gonna say, are we gonna find a second sword before Lionel Bridge?
Oh,
where
oh my God.
we would have to spin them to get? I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
No, we would like use cape or something. No, I don't. I think all the swords are on Ganon's tower.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so maybe, you know what, Shax? Maybe, like, the ice rod is gonna be, like, a Mimic Cave or something, and then, we're gonna get all the way to Trinex, and, we're gonna still be saying, like, Chex, we're still on Fighter Sword. On to the next boss that we go to.
I know.
I wonder if Mire can lock any swords. I guess they can, because we do have the Quick Medallion now, no, actually, never mind, we don't have the Quick Medallion. Maybe we're gonna find the Quick Medallion here, Chex. I don't want to think about this.
I'm slightly, I don't know the logic of the randomizer well enough, to know how much our, magic needs to be extended.
I think it's just, yeah, so, alright, I believe...
We need bottles.
Right, so I believe the consensus was 1 can of Burna is enough, or if you find the cape, you need a bottle for extension.
Oh yes. I'm thinking about Trinex.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's a good point. I think I want to say you need 2.
You know what?
Man.
I don't think we need that much. I'm thinking about glitch modes where we might not have the hammer.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, that's right. I was only thinking, like, maybe you have to do this, like, with only rods, in which case you need, like, a lot of magic. Yeah, but you're right. Like, we do have a hammer here. How often do we come here in this case without any type of swords?
Not often.
Alright, that looks like the PlasmaKappa has come up the mountain just like Buane has. Going to open up Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and thanks to chat for answering my question. And Zelga says, if we have no hammer, Master Sword would require 1 extension of magic, and Fighter Sword would require 3 extensions. And again, this is in theory with no hammer available. So not an item rando. Hey, what do you know?
We found a sword in Mimic Cave! Oh my gosh, alright, so, Is Ganon gonna be Master Sword Silverless? I hope not. That would be kind of, well, I guess it would be fitting for the theme of the seed so far, because it seems like it's just trying to like hide as much weaponry upgrade from us as possible. At the same time, it would be nice to at least give us a more comfortable endgame than what we had in the early to mid. You know what, Buane is just he is just disappointed that we found all the medallions before we found all the swords.
Mm-hmm. So the Quake medallion, it indicates that we may find progression in Misery Mire. It could be an ice rod, it could be a bow, it could be both. But let's wait until we find out what's on Laser Bridge.
Yeah. Okay, so far, I mean, while a sword is good and necessary for Ganon, it doesn't logically unlock anything. The Quake Medallion does give us a bit more entry. Buane, I guess, trying to get some iframes, but we're not going to help him out here in Laser Bridge. One more item that we can go to. It is not the Ice Rod.
Wow. Okay. So Buane is uncertain. He's gonna give this mirror portal. He's gonna just leave the dungeon and see what he can do.
So
I'm not sure that portal helps us if Aghanim is already defeated.
Yeah, I think you're right in that
really
we don't get to keep it. Yeah.
Buane will go to Spike Cave.
This is in logic, and it looks like at least he should have enough, magic and health in order to get through. Hopefully he's gonna get fortunate enough to pick up a fairy. Nope. He's not even checking the other two.
Yeah, we have to use Burna here. Yeah. If we were to use Cape, we would run out of magic power.
Wow, what? Oh,
it was the
wow. It is the bow! Oh, that's so nice. Alright, so that portal has hope? Never mind, that portal doesn't have hope. I forgot that Aghanim was already dead.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, oh, that's great. We can no, we can't go back. You know what? So at least for what it's worth, this is gonna at least potentially delay our pendant mire dip, because we at least have found one piece of progression. So okay, so at this point, it looks like we're just looking for that ice rod, and hopefully we're gonna find a third sword along the way.
Hopefully.
Now,
my guess for the Ganon fight will be Master Sword Silvers, because that's always a awkward one to watch and play. It's kind of interesting, not well optimized from what I've done.
Yeah, so I guess I'm curious. Like, would you rather have you would still rather have Silvers though for that fight?
Yeah.
Correct. Okay.
Always.
Even though it's just awkward in terms of execution.
Yeah.
I guess Silvers is still gonna make things faster than not like, I don't know, what is it, 24 spins or something on Ganon?
Yeah, for sure.
PlasmaKappa though, he's like on his last sliver basically of magic. Good thing he had enough in order to get through this conveyor belt room.
Yeah, exactly. Always rough if we run out of magic before the Dark Maze.
I think I just saw Buane turn off his. Oh no, he doesn't have the Silvers turn off. Alright, okay, so here in Eastern Palace, he's got tons more health and tons more swords than he's used to probably in the NMG world. Not to mention tons more speed, because, you know, we don't normally have boots here, but it's going to give us a nice showing of a quick armless kill.
Nice fight. Just a red rupee, though.
We are at least making progress for our crystal dungeons, and we didn't have to say this time. Hey, Chex, did you know we're still on Fighter Sword? Did you know that we're finally on Master Sword?
I did notice that.
Yes. Okay,
It
Chex.
didn't really help us in this fight.
Yes, that's true. Okay, are we going to pod? I guess maybe not, since Buane was actually here in the light world, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I would rather go to Meyer for 2 items than Helma for 1. But we might have to collect the pendants. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, no, that's certainly true. We got the book after we had visited Skullwoods on both brothers' sides, because the book was in the brewery, and they had gone up to Skullwoods, both of them first. So we do not actually know what's on the pedestal. Looks like though PlasmaKappa is going to opt to delay Eastern Palace currently, so he is actually in Meyer first over Buane. Thank goodness for beams. We can at least do some semblance of a quick kill for this room.
Yeah, I don't know how much knowledge advantage that that gives to Kappa. That it will give an incentive to combine pod with Eastern if Meyer turns out empty. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, that's really a good point. Maybe so actually Kappa hasn't done Spike Cave, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay, so this actually makes a little bit more, maybe, incentivizes him to come over here because he's missing 2 items, right? And so Buane is just missing 1.
Excuse me, yeah. No bow for the bosses of those dungeons. Yeah, pretty cool to see our runners in the same rooms. We haven't seen much of that through this race. There's the ice rod.
That is the ice rod for Buane. We had to, so that is 1 hour 20, almost 26 minutes. Buane is in go mode. Man, this scene, like, I don't even know if the end could be considered linear. I guess, it's not like they had much of a better option. But we had to go dip. What was it? Yeah. Pendant pod for our gloves. We had to basically clear out Hera for nothing, and then we had to come into Meyer in order to find our ice rod. And you had to go into Spike Cave for your bow. Like these are some pretty bad locations. Buane making sure that we had in fact cleared out all of the Light World dungeons. Alright, so where is, looks like this is going to be a Spike Cave play for PlasmaKappa. Looks like he actually pulled out both items. He did, actually, this actually is going to be potential advantage. Oh no, he's going, never mind. He's going to go back to Turtle Rock, because he can clear out the dungeon. I think he's going to hope that, I want to say there are only 4 items so far, so he's going to probably hope that the last item is going to be on Trinex. But maybe after that, he beats the dungeon and then he's going to go over to Spike Cave.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And we're seeing Dead Rock block on Buane's side. This is not the, I wonder how Buane's feeling at this time.
I wonder, yeah, no, that's actually a good point. Like, I actually wonder how both of our runners are feeling, because it's like, it's already, we're almost at like the 130 mark, and we still have GT and Ganon to go through, and we're still on Master Sword checks. Depending on where that depending on where that big key is. I mean, man, I certainly hope for their sake they're gonna find something else. Temper Sword would be probably the best, but even if they just find silver, it's like somewhere, let's say, like, Moldorm 2 chest or something, that's gonna be better.
Yeah.
Oh man. So both runners end up coming back into Turtle Rock, right? And you know, I almost like want to like have them basically do like a key sanity mode or something, because it actually looks like, at least on PlasmaKappa side, the chomps are actually well behaved enough such that he could actually just made like a straight dash through, but the chest is in the way, so he's still
Right.
stop.
Right, so Buane certainly has an advantage being in go mode, having cleared Eastern already. So once this crystal is complete, he'll be off to Ganna's Tower. Kappa will still need to find Bo, but it's nearly a last location. There may be a couple of holes here or there, but it's not an advantageous position to be in. So he must be feeling a little bit of dread here.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly. I would not be surprised if both our runners kind of felt that way. Just
yeah,
you know, like this entire seat has been somewhat. Even though they have every ability to go fast, it still feels like it certainly has been quite a hindrance for the seed. Okay, so Buane on Master Sword, gonna do off to front door strats with the hammer. PlasmaKappa, yeah, very shortly behind. Good to see that I think it was quick stop usage, maybe not. Maybe it was just menu.
Yeah, I believe it was a menu. And for the ice head, our runners are going for Master Sword hits.
Yeah, this is actually really impressive from both of them.
And hammers, well. Yeah. Very confident fights so far.
Yeah, it's also yeah, like and no ice, basically, right on either side. Certainly. Not only I think he's also just shows some good speed, but yeah. All right, so is that gonna be something else that kind of tempts PlasmaKappa? Maybe not, because he'll do Spike Heat right after this.
Yeah, we do get sent to the front of the dungeon, so we'll see.
That mushroom, for what it's worth, though, is actually a potential safety for Buane. So PlasmaKappa picked up powder from Meyer as the other item because he was still missing the bow, and so he's at least going to be able to have that safety as he goes up the tower. Buane, though, having picked up the mushroom, if he really needs to fake powder at the very end, he actually has that option now. Okay, this looks like a Spike Cave play on Kappa's side. Unfortunately, Kittle got hit by the Lano.
So Kappa is mirroring. I'm a bit surprised by that. Is it? Oh, okay. It's a ether check.
But yeah, I guess he hasn't been over here yet. We did see Buane make that check earlier without the Master Sword because, you know, we didn't have the Master Sword for like an hour, basically, or however long it was. Oh yeah, we were supposed to guess how many, where you think the GCP key is on Buane's side. Totally forgot. So you want to keep guessing. You know, Buane has demonstrated he is taking his more traditional route that's named after him. Is in this case going to go left to Stavros' room, mirror out with a guaranteed small key, and then go over to the right. And then if nothing is in Hope Room, we're going to go back left.
There's the bow for Kappa. Go mode for...
Yeah, bow go mode. Not sure how good that feels. I would also like to point out, though, in GT, Buane showed us in Hope Room that there is actually no small key. So if the big key is actually in Compass Chest, it's actually going to be a pretty favorable swing in terms of finding the key if PlasmaKappa decides to do Hope Room first. That was actually a really nice spin speed dodge of the red guard. I wouldn't have even know what to do there, but he was able to keep his speed all throughout to get into Eastern, so that was pretty impressive.
Sorry, I was a bit mesmerized by Buane's right side GT, which was pretty professional.
Also,
and
yeah.
That's where our big key was.
Mm-hmm.
In the compass chest, I guess.
Yeah, so Buane ended up opening up one of the first chests before the big key was a small key. So I think logically that means the big key is there. So actually, Buane, like this route specifically for this specific layout for keys is actually extremely beneficial. So the good news, I guess, on Buane's side is that he did save himself a ton of time in Ganon's tower basement. The less good news is that we're still on Master Sword Silverless. He does have a couple more checks available to him in Upper GT. Certainly, we have seen runners get bailed out. However, this seed, I'm not sure what our prospects are of finishing this before the 1 hour 40 mark.
Yeah, not good. I would certainly go for it, but that would involve checking all the chests, and it's quite likely we'll find silvers, although maybe they're at Mushroom or something else like that.
Buane employing some hybrid version of Limbo's 2 strats here. Unfortunately, he does have the Master Sword, so of course even these swordsmans are not going to be as impactful.
Yeah, it looks like Buane wants to be careful with his magic here. He's even picking up the small magic pot.
Alright, luckily, quick swap saves the day, swaps over to the correct red cane in order to kill these monsters in one shot.
Certainly, we don't want to switch to the wrong item as we enter that room, or really any other room. But especially a cycle-based room, like Wizrobes.
Alright, well, it looks like though Buane is gonna have just enough magic to get through Torches 1. He's probably gonna pick up in this case.
I'm not sure why Buane is laughing, but it's contagious.
It doesn't even have to wait for any type of noise in order to go upstairs. In Rando, certainly it could be a difference between that and MG. Alright, we're in like the money portion of GT, Upper GT. We have 2 more chests to go, in hopes of getting bailed out with a Temper Sword or Silvers.
Oh. So Kappa did the same thing as Buane, using the hook shot for iframes, but then walking into the Lionel.
Oh no. Those Lionels hurt, yeah. And of course, we did see one armor upgrade. I think you mentioned it was Bumper Ledge, right?
Yeah.
Which, yeah, we're definitely not going to pick up.
No silvers. Just a piece of heart in Moldorm 2's chest.
Okay, so as Buane's going to take on Aghanim 2, we actually do see Kappa going into Hope Room, so no small key, and we know where the big key is. So Kappa's going to have to probably, unless he decides to do like a right, left, right type of hybrid, he is going to basically go all the way to the right, most of the basement. I guess for our benefit as viewers, we at least get to see if there's a third sword or silvers here in the basement that Buane ended up skipping out on.
Yeah, and pretty likely that is both. Alright, so Aghanim 2 goes down for Buane, and now it's just off to Ganon. Solid fight.
Buane is stretching, building up mental and physical endurance for this upcoming fight. Masters of Silverless isn't probably something you get to see too often. Maybe it's more common, I guess, in during the heydays of the main tourney. But this is going to be a fight of patience.
It certainly is. We need 12 Master Sword spins to advance to the next phase.
Yeah, it looks like Buane he's trying to, kind of nestle himself against closer walls just so he doesn't get as much knockback from, just like that, right? Where every single spin basically knocks him down, basically like halfway across the room.
Right. We're on to phase 2. So it looks like we've got 3 hits in. Or maybe that was 4.
Kappa has found a tempered sword and potentially another sword in Rando Room. Oh my gosh, dude.
The green 20.
That green 20. Okay, I think I was told that it was either like the boots item replacement, not logical replacement, or a fourth sword. But I mean, honestly, like if that was a fourth sword, man, like that, that is kind of like a mean seed. But both swords basically in GT.
Yeah, Buane has escaped danger. He's on to phase 3. And now we just need to move on to phase 4. And now, did you find arrows in Light World? Well,
I think they were on the pedestal?
Oh yeah, maybe. It's that or mushroom, right?
Oh yeah, mushroom, that's right, we do have that. Okay, so I guess from the credits, we're gonna be able to see where those silver arrows are.
Right.
But it does certainly mean that Kappa is not gonna be able to find them here behind Ice Armos.
Yeah.
Alright, doing his best in order to do burn on Landmo. I think it's very reasonable. Actually, it's surprisingly efficient. He wants to save his arrows?
Yeah, I mean, we would need 18 and he only has 17, and then we would need 4 more for mimics.
Oh yeah, and unlike NMG, you don't get this like guaranteed 10 arrows here in the chest.
And Buane has run out of magic. Not sure what his strategy is. Oh, he's got a green potion. Alright. I missed that purchase.
Buane has made so many purchases. Sorry?
But I don't know if it was a fountain gift.
Oh, I guess I also don't know. But I mean, like, he made so many purchases at the potion shop, he maybe just got, like, a free one, as, like, a frequent shopper's, reward.
Yeah, rewards.
Yeah. Alright, so with that, so many silver spins later, Buane, as across the bridge, claimed first place in this loser's bracket elimination match, is gonna move himself onto the round of 32. GG's to Buane.
GG's. And so that looks like it concludes the race. We have a forfeit from Kappa.
Yeah,
so
understandable.
Both runners.
Yeah, but definitely get your GG's out in chat for both Buane and Kappa has run a very excellent race. Speaking of, we are joined by tonight's victor, Buane, top 32 qualifier. How are you feeling?
Hello. I'm good. How is everybody here?
GG's, grats Buane on the win.
Oh, thank you, Chex. That was a long one.
I believe it was your former league teammate, Ari, who has said that any seed over 140 is too long.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I had fun. This was a very fun seed. I was so sure. It's like, okay, I've played this a million times. Now I have access to all of Swamp. I'm going to do Swamp at the Pyramid Fairy, and that's just where all the items are going to be. And so when it was just Flute in Swamp and Pyramid Fairy, I was like, whoa, all right, this just got a little bit weirder because we were running out of spots at that point and still missing 3 items. Yeah, just however you took this one, something was gonna bite you. So, that's kind of the more interesting, maybe more stressful, but it's a more interesting seed for sure.
Yeah. Well, and King's Tomb or Graveyard Lodge. Yeah. So good time to do those after to also get nothing.
GG's Kappa. We are also joined by the person who had an amazingly great run in SGL, not to mention a very impressive race. GG's Kappa.
GG's.
GG's Kappa.
Yep.
So, from our perspective, you guys were on Fighter Sword for pretty much the entire seed, minus like 2 dungeons, something like that. The execution, by the way, was just very impressive to watch. May not have been super fun, I guess, to play. For example, like maybe like Argus wasn't that great, but execution-wise, it was just very well done.
It was it's tough. It's a tough mode, especially when it doesn't give you blue mail. It makes a big difference.
Improvised.
Yeah, it's just there's not a lot of like, even routing wise, you can't really make too much of an aggressive play, and you don't necessarily want to. Like, I literally walked all the way to Potion Shop before I went into Ice Palace, just because I felt like doing Death Mountain before going through Ice was a mistake. So, it's tough. You kind of want to push the envelope a little bit. I think both Kappa and I kind of like to play like that anyway, but when you are so low percent for so long and you're still missing so many items, it just feels like there's really nothing you can do but play straight up and try your best not to die.
Yeah. Because if I'm also missing 3 swords, that means there are 6 helpful items instead of 3 on LSS.
Yeah, it didn't look like left side would be a skip for either of you, and you just had to follow the whims of the seed.
Yeah, believe me, if I would have if I could have, but I made my play early with Eastern Palace and got super burned. It sounds like Kappa did the same thing from what we were talking about after the race, and after that there was like I couldn't find any realistic like corner to cut at any point. So
yeah. I was definitely considering LSS, but then I didn't.
You were considering skipping it?
Yes.
Well, hindsight is, 2020 or sharper for that matter.
Yeah, because if no one makes a play, Buane wins. That's just kind of how it works, especially with that GT Big T location. Pick the opposite route.
Yeah, that one finally paid off.
Yeah,
feels
yeah,
good when it
paid. I mean, but what a race though. I mean, just and I think Chuck and I were talking about this earlier. Was that this seed, as you said, Buane, this can be a pretty difficult mode. And you guys did I would say pretty aggressive, similar routes, because you basically both went directly into Skull Woods as your first dungeon, a Dark World dungeon, on Fighter Sword and a couple hearts, and you did have the hammer, but I mean that fight is not easy, and both of you survived very well.
I'm so bad at Hammer Moth too. I didn't even take it out until the fight was over. I don't like it, especially with Green Mail. I don't like it. You gotta get so close to Moth, and you can just lose 4 hearts so quickly. But it didn't go well for me even without trying to use the hammer either. So I specifically picked up the potion on my way to Catfish because I knew, okay, we're probably going to Moth pretty soon. Let's get a potion under our belt. I always forget to throw the bottle into the waterfall. Literally, I've done it like 1 time ever when I've gone to waterfall with a bottle. Apparently that was a blue potion too, so that would have been nice to have an extra blue in my back pocket. Considering the number of potions that I drank in this seed, it would have been nice to have an extra one.
Oh yeah. I don't know if Kappa ended up mentioning this to you, but so Jax and I, so we watched Kappa in this case actually do a really nice routing. So he, with the Canis Samara, fake flippered and still into Waterfall Potion when he was doing the Catfish Zora stuff.
Yeah, and Red Boom, which you didn't have, Buane.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right, Buane. You rejected it twice, I think, at that point.
Yeah, I saw that, and I knew what it was for.
Yeah, and he got.
I wouldn't have known what to do with it anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's a good combination.
also means I can finish that whole area with catfish, so it would make sense to try it first.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess at this point, it just kind of seems like, I don't know, like if the bow were in Mire, I think Kappa, you would have probably, stood a closer of a chance. In this case, it just happens to be the bow was in Spike Cave, and it was not Mire, right?
Nope.
Any I guess parting thoughts? I guess unfortunately, because this is a losers bracket round, this is gonna unfortunately end your tournament for SGL 2021. But any thoughts, and maybe thoughts about SGL 2022?
Cool, very tough bracket. You can see him fighting Buane and losers, so it's nightmarish. Tried my best.
We just try and send you help, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, but I guess thoughts about from you, Buane. You get to move on.
Yeah, I mean, there's no. You look at the whole draw, the whole 128. My section in the top bracket, and now everybody that's left still in losers here. There's no easy draws, and you just try to have fun playing good matches against good players. I mean, Kappa's been around forever. He knows what he's doing. He's a very tough player. In my opinion, he's got a very correct type of play style where he's not just going to sit back and just efficiently full clear it. It makes it fun to play against a player like that. Makes for fun races. We got kind of a tough seed to make any plays in, so at the end of the day, if you kind of just can look at what you did and say don't really regret anything, even if it turns out badly, kind of all you're looking for, it's a best of one tournament all the way through. Most of us are probably going to lose to something stupid, so you just try to have fun while it's still going on. If I got one more game, that's cool. If I lose it, cool. If I get to play the 8 more games that it would take for me to get to the end of this thing, then that's also cool, I guess. I'll tell you at the end of that, I suppose. But yeah, look, I think I say it every time I'm talking about a seed in the post game. Like, you gotta have a good attitude about this stuff and just try to have fun, because otherwise you're not gonna be playing this game very long.
Very true.
Yep, seems correct.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think Chex also said this phrase earlier in regards to some of Kappa's boss fights, which I think is relevant, which is patience prevails. So you do have to probably extend some of that patience, especially as you said, playing rando, and just having fun with it. Yeah, I guess any final thoughts maybe from you guys before I guess we wrap things up.
GG to Kappa again. Thanks to you guys, everybody else behind the scenes. Shout out to the tracker. Was it J-Lo again? It was probably J-Lo again.
It was J-Lo, yes.
Yep.
Doing double duty today.
And yeah, just it'll be a fun one to watch back and listen to you guys. Thanks for staying up late with us.
GG to Buane and Ball and Chain Guard, who nearly killed me immediately.
I mean, it's okay. Like, Chex already said it was the final boss of the game, so you didn't die, which was the most important part.
It really is.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Buane. Thank you, Kappa. It was actually a really fun race. High execution. So thanks for letting us restream you guys. Thanks of course to JLo, our tracker. Thank you, Chex, doing commentary. This was a lot of fun. Certainly look forward to the next time. Glad that we can come back here. It's like the last time we were here was for Buane and Ari for NMG. So certainly going to look forward to our next time.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. And thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Yep. See you next time.